Welcome. Today we're going to talk about 6 months-ish with this, the Apple Magic Keyboard super expensive thing, right? You've seen it. You know what it looks like. It floats the iPad. And I know many times I actually said that this thing's it's so expensive. And I reviewed a bunch of other cases, right? I'll link some of those above. Where I went through like 6 cases and said why I recommend them, why I don't recommend them. I actually had this at the time for about 2 or 3 weeks and recommended it under certain scenarios. But today I'm going to talk about really what I think about this keyboard case after 6 months. Before we do that, 2 ways to support the channel. Number 1 is to go to patreon.com/CurtisMcHale, support the channel. Number 2 is to go to curtismchale.ca/Skillshare. Got a bunch of upcoming courses, and I got my tick courses already out. Upcoming is Things 3, time blocking, and probably an e-commerce course because I just taught that for my regular coding stuff. Buckle up. Magic Keyboard. First up, typing feel of the Magic Keyboard. Pretty good. Now, it's nowhere near as, deep as my N Pro 2, or I've got, can you see it behind my head? Kind of. I've got I forget the name of that one even. And I've got a Keychron K2 up on the shelf above that you can't quite see. It's not quite a not quite. It's not a mechanical keyboard at all. It doesn't have the clicky clacky. It doesn't have like that deep travel that I really like. It doesn't have programmability, right? It's missing function keys, right? As is my N Pro 2, but I can program different layers. So I can basically rebuild them and it's fine. It doesn't have those things, but the typing feel is really good. Like it's quite good. I don't find it ever to be a problem. I think I wrote around 2,000 or 3,000 words yesterday working on my time blocking course on the second edit. I've written like most of this review on there. I've written lots and lots of stuff on it, and it is just always good. It's not standout, it's not stellar, it's not like the best typing experience you'll ever have, but it's good, it's a suitable tool, and really that's all you need from the keyboard. It needs to be good enough to be suitable. It's no butterfly keyboard terribleness. It feels way better than the Smart Folio thing that they have as well. And it is just a good keyboard to type on. Now, that little trackpad, that was actually something that concerned me at first. I was kind of wondering, like, how is this little trackpad going to do compared to the Magic Trackpad 2 that I have, which is like, I don't know, more than twice the size. And the truth is, I don't even notice. It works well. Whatever magic they've done for it, Apple's trackpads are stellar as usual. And it just works well. Oh, I can see the focus. There we go. Now focus is catching me, sort of. My chest, anyway. So the trackpad's great. I have no complaints about it. It doesn't feel small. It works just like I want. It's still focusing on that thing again. So it's still a good trackpad. That's all I can really say. It's a good trackpad. I never have any problems with it. Thumbs up for the trackpad. Now, on your lap, this would be my biggest disappointment in the keyboard. Just because of how it's weighted, it tips back ever so slightly all the time. There's nothing you can do about it on your lap. I generally find it to be okay. Like, I'm not worried it's going to tip over and just like flip backwards off my lap. But it is something you notice as you type it. Like if I take my hands off it, just kind of slightly tips back. It doesn't actually flip over, but it slightly tips back. It would be nice to have it better on your lap, but that means they'd have to actually raise the weight of the overall package. And it's already pretty heavy. Like lots of people say, oh, but it's, as heavy as a laptop, heavier than an iPad Air, heavier than whatever. And it is, but I love iOS. I actually dislike working on macOS whenever I have to do that. So I'm willing to make the trade-off. Portability. I feel that the portability of this device, this case for your iPad, really just brings up the portability of it. I used the Initech case for a long time, and it was good, but it didn't have a trackpad with it. I actually really liked how the protection on that one was. Really well protected case, better than this one, because that one actually framed the iPad entirely, had rubber corners on it. Although it did make it hard to get USB-C accessories in occasionally. Not all of them, but some of them if they were a little too wide. So what I've been doing now is actually basically just walking out the door with this iPad all summer, at least, when I could go work in the park and it wasn't cold or rainy like it is in BC. I'd take the iPad and I'd take the not the AirPods Pro, the Power Beats Pro, and that's it. I just walk out the door with those two things in a small backpack. I didn't need anything else really at all. I could go work for 2 or 3 hours out as long as I wasn't directly in the sun. And as long as I wasn't processing video. And it was great to have such a small package. Like, I went from a long time being a bike commuter and carrying laptops back and forth and carrying a myriad of cables and actually carrying some of my workout stuff like um, hand straps for like pull ups, other stuff like that, to like carrying an iPad and a set of headphones, and that's it. And my phone, I suppose. Um, and it's been stellar. Like, I love it. I'm gonna hop on my bike quick, roll down the 5 minutes, and it's about a kilometer away down to the park where there's a nice shady tree covering a bench, and I'd work there for a number of hours regularly all summer and be totally fine. So I really like the portability of it. It's just excellent. I don't really use it as my desk. That's where I use my Visa mount, which I'll link up above, and that's what I use at my desk along with my Pro 2. But like around the house, it's great. Now, I suppose the final question is it worth it? I want to say yes, yes. Like if you're typing a lot on your iPad, if it's going to be like your main computer, and it is my main computer still, I'm doing a little bit more that's required Mac OS, but the iPad is still my main computer. It's still the first thing I reach for, and it's still what I want to be turning on every day, even though occasionally I can't for really nerdy reasons like having to run servers locally on my machine, which the iPad just can't do. It is the one I go to. The only other case I've really used since I did like my upgrade on cases is the Apple Folio case. And clearly my kids are up making a whole bunch of stompy stuff. That's the only other case I use when I'm going to be like cooking, other stuff like that. I just want a case that's more robust, that's not going to, have spills or have, whatever flour in it or something like that. That's the only other case I use. Outside of this, that's it. 2 cases, that's it. I don't even know what I'm going to do with a stack of other cases I have because I literally don't use them. That's it. I love the keyboard. I think it was worth the price. It's really expensive though. I will buy, like if the next iPad requires a different case, I would probably build that into my original purchase price, just buying this case, foregoing anything else and buying only that one case. Because I easily have, $400 or $500 of test cases around that would equal the price of it anyways. That's it. If you liked the video, thumbs up below. If you loved it, subscribe, hit the bell, and YouTube might sort of let you know when something comes, but probably not really. If you want to support the channel, you can go to patreon.com/CurtisMcHale, support the channel, or you can go to curtismchale.ca/Skillshare, take my course on TickTick, watch my upcoming courses on time blocking and Things 3. Have a good one.